Dobre, ideme na to. Takže nakoniec je plán dneska dať level 90 a ukončiť náhnitý Power Exile, ktorý úplne ho zdevastovali. Pičný event. Skautovať zvukovú stopu, či ide. Dobre, ideme na to. Takže môžeme to oficiálne spustiť. Začíname 806. Začíname 806. relaxačný tréningový deň, je 2.2.2026. Máme pondelok, to sú klikožrutý 100, 90, 80, 70, 60 kliksterov. Takže začíname 17-16. Piče sa majú 18-16. Piče sa majú 16-16, každého podľa gusta a podľa svastiky, piče sa majú o hodinu menej. A už to 17-17, tak začíname 17-17, piče sa majú 16-16, 16-17. Takže ideme na to. Nášho času je to 17-17, pustíme si tohto piče sa Argona ako podmas. A začíname 100 klikov, že to 100 klik z toho prvá séria.
The update details are here for the new Korean server update. We will very likely get this too for global on Thursday. And well, there's not a lot here. Some Tower of Green fixes, including a time where you couldn't use skills when you started the floor on water. They've made it so you can't break the floor by moving out of the area, by going to the Amatai house or escaping when you are lifting a relic. They're fixing that issue with the Codex mission, the side Codex, so you should be able to properly complete it. I believe that's this one. Obtaining the reward from your awakening stage on the 5th floor. I don't believe I did it. No, it was only 5 runes. And I don't think I really want to go back, because purifying all the way to that stage means I lose all this progress, and it's just not worth my time. Not if I want to go back up again. Maybe I do it the last day of this season, which we can see here should be the 26th of February. And we should get a new season with new rewards. Hopefully better ones. At least gives them the opportunity to make better rewards. Totally no harm skipping this current season, honestly. They also state here, even if you break through a floor in advance or proceed with engraving or purification, the mission will be completed immediately when corresponding order is reached. Most likely means still the Codex mission here. There are some slight adventure Codex changes, like reducing this cooldown of a debuff you get, removing the increased damage on this skill, and reducing the damage of strike. This basically is just to make it so that newer players can get through the Codex a bit easier. It's still the easiest way to level up in this game. Just do your Codex, it gives you a ton of XP. A slight fix to the Festival of Fire, and some frame rate issues during raids should be addressed. If you had DirectX 12 disabled, it could occasionally crash, so that should be fixed now. And remove some structures around the castle gate, this being for siege, so it doesn't cause errors with in terms of private housing. They fix an issue where your wallpaper could reset. And finally, when you're obtaining your volcanic ash, collecting it in dirt piles, they've improved the drop rate from 1% to 10%. And that's ultimately it. All we get for this week's update. Again, not confirmed coming to global, but should be this Thursday. Unless they decide it's not important enough and push it back a week. But as stated before, February is looking like kind of a dry month for content for Throne and Liberty. All we can really expect to see is Battlegrounds getting added to War Games, meaning you'll be able to create your own custom Battleground lobby to be able to have some proper practice fights for Battlegrounds. It'll be good if at least you're in a GVG setting and want to be able to practice as a group beating up other people outside of the limitation of the Battlegrounds. What is a little bit concerning are all the errors and bugs that they're just not addressing. One that's been here from the very start is still Curse Explosion not properly working against bosses with extra mitigation. But looking through other player reports, there seems to be a new one that cropped up with regards to the Tevin Orb not triggering with Supernova Collapse. If any of you can confirm any of these things I cover now in the comments below, that'd be great. This guy commenting about the Amatoy, the Wandering Youth Genesis. He indeed can no longer be obtained. Basically, since they made the change, we no longer get moonstones with the housing rework. There's reports about the Veiled Concord stat not stacking properly if you parry immediately after using control skills. There seems to be a bug with the new cosmetic for housing. Crystal Veil Curtains doesn't seem to be placeable. If you had
Lily má
missed
tretiu
that
sériu,
big
ocení si
update
klikol, že to
shot
ocení si
from my
klikol.
previous video, we did indeed get this bundle, 1500 Lucent. Does have that pretty cool emote here with the swords, and then also this running animation with the footsteps trail, and then all of this extra furniture, which is pretty cool, ice themed if you want to create your Elsa's palace. But apparently these curtains don't work, at least for this guy. There are reports I've seen where you can't get detonation mark to stack damage if the target has shields. Similarly, this guy reporting Victor's morale on Greatsword is not working correctly against shields. These things only trigger on direct damage, which just makes it even worse when your targets have over 50,000 K shields. And there's honestly much more. But these are player reports, there can always be some user error in them, but it just goes to show some things they seem to just ignore or just take their sweet time before they do anything about them. But if you are making a report, do your best to make sure you list exactly how it can be reproduced. Some devs not exactly on the ball with even how to play the game, so the more hand-holding they can get exactly how to replicate something, the quicker it will likely get fixed. But with that said, thanks for watching. A special thank you to my channel members, and we'll see you guys around.
Hey fellow vault dwellers,
Kidding me?
and Returnal, and today I'm reporting on incoming changes to legendary effects for armor. And yes, those are big and very impactful. Good or bad? Unfortunately both. Depend on your personal circumstances, you will be either hit with a nice buff or not so nice nerf. So that depends what you are using, what you like the most. I will cover it all. I will start from the positive. Hopefully your build will be on the list. If not, then most likely it is on the negative change. I will cover both. Let's dive in. All the changes. And yes, I know it's a public test server. Something can change, but only about a month left. You shouldn't expect big changes at this point. Small changes, small tweaks are possible. Big changes, very unlikely. So get ready. Just don't craft anything ahead of time. Because it's better to just get ready, prepare your modules, and wait for confirmation when March update drops, and you will see what's happening. So new effects and changes. It is Star One. So the most impactful one that's changed for almost all
Čtvrtá
armor,
séria.
in addition to
70 klikov, že to 70
changes
klik stav.
to armor and calculations of damage received. First one is good. Aristocrats. Reflect incoming damage based on Cap's health, and some of those effects I will showcase on enemies. Some of them I will just quickly explain. This one I will showcase later. As that's interesting one. The most interesting one I will showcase. Reflects incoming damage based on Cap's health, currently 10%. So how it works, it does not reduce damage you are taking. You are still taking the same damage as without any premix. But you are reflecting the damage back on attacker, and this is quite like 10% per piece. It's the maximum. The only bad news here is to hit the maximum you need 39,500 caps, and it's not a linear progression. So if you have less than 30k caps, this effect basically doesn't work. So you need to be maxed out on caps. That's a downside. So I would say only for endgame players that do not need caps, they can just hold like me. I can hold to 40k. Do not trade, stop trading for a while, and enjoy Aristocrats. Other new effect, Heavyweight. This one grants up to 10% damage reduction at higher encumbrance. Basically, you need to be over encumbered by quite a bit, by 50%. And it can hit 10% per piece, so full set, you'll get like 50% damage reduction. It's a lot. It's awesome. Only for regular armor. Every other effect is for power armor and regular armor.
No ima tá
Heavyweight is regular
posledná
armor.
5. séria, 60 klikov,
Very
160
nice effect. Relatively easy to use. I will showcase this one as well. A little bit of gimmicks added, of course. You need to be over-encumbered, so not perfect, not always perfect, but interesting. And you can absolutely use it. I will be crafting a full set of heavyweight for myself. The lucid effect, 6%. So that's strong. From the next update for all ghouls, basically the strongest prefix. 6% as long as you are sane. Okay, not really. I need to eat some Radex diluted to get the full bonus. I will show you when the full bonus kicks in as we are at it. So you can see my bar is about half. I normally just top it up by eating Radex diluted. So let's top it up a little and see now how Lucid works. At this moment,
No, je to za nami. No, takže to známe, zrekapitulujeme to. ...806. relaxačný tréningový deň za nami bol pondelok 2.2.2026. Skončili sme 17.28, prišli sme o 16.28, každý pol augusta svastiky. My sme skončili 17.28, segment trval 12 minút a 20 sekúnd dlhý.